Welcome to Learning Life Skills Together. This is our weekly community Zoom meeting where our guests help us to go deeper into the 4 life skills and open up a huge array of chances to practice them. Hello, everyone. This is Learning Life Skills Together weekly Zoom meeting number 68 with Michelle Lampley from the YMCA of Greater Brandywine. So we are going to talk, sounds like, about the out of doors and all of the ways that we can explore. And this is really an important thing to be able to do, is to just stop and explore something. It's a skill that's valuable. And what I like to do right now is to just stop and explore this moment. So if it's all right with you, and if you're in a position where you can, you could close your eyes. Some people find that it helps to explore what's happening right now with their eyes closed. You could leave your eyes open. That's fine too. But you could start by getting in touch with your body, with the experience of what's touching down. So maybe you're standing and your soles of your feet are touching down. Maybe you're sitting and you feel the parts that you're sitting on. Maybe up your back if you're in a chair. Maybe you feel where you've rested your arms or where you've put them, at any rate. So however it is, whatever posture you're in, you could start to check out how that feels. This is one of the things that's happening right now. All of this feedback from the world and your body. You feel your feet on the floor. You feel your buttocks and thighs on the chair. You feel your hands where they're touching down. And maybe you feel how much effort you're putting into that. Because if you're standing and you're balanced, or if you're sitting and you're balanced, gravity is holding you where you are. And you could maybe let go of some effort and just rest in what's happening in the moment. So just checking into your body. Maybe checking into the sounds around you. So just noticing what's there. You may like it, you may not like it, but it's coming. It's there. So just see if you can let the sound be there. Maybe you notice that it's different and then different again. Lots of things change and change very quickly. So when we're present, when we're exploring what's happening in the moment, that's another thing that we see. That things move and change all the time. So just noticing what the sounds are right now. Letting them be there. Maybe they change. And so another thing you can notice is the fact that you're breathing right now. You don't have to make yourself breathe. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just notice that that's happening. And if you'd like, you probably don't want to tilt your head towards your screen. You might want to tilt it down or up. Turn yourself away from your screen. And if your eyes have been closed, you could open them and you could see what there is to see. So we don't always explore these places where we spend a lot of time. And we might turn up something interesting, something we didn't notice. And finally, you could look at your phone, your computer, whatever it is you're listening to this on, and we could talk a little bit, or you could think a little bit about what you noticed, what you found on your exploration. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask Michelle what she found, what she noticed on her exploration of the present moment.
What did I find? It's a gorgeous present moment. I love taking time to recognize it. And during the hectic work of my day, I don't have enough time for that. So this was fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, this sort of brings us into a place where maybe we're ready to continue to explore. Maybe our minds are open a little bit. And it's kind of working with open minds is what your job title includes here. So you are the environmental and STEM education director for the Y. And I would really like to hear some of the things that you do because it fits so closely to what we're trying to concentrate on in learning life skills together. So we're saying right now in the last month and probably for a little while further that we're really looking at this skill of being resilient. So it's like we've looked at paying attention and we've looked at working with our emotions in the moment. And resilience is kind of, yeah, we've learned how to handle ourselves when there's a bad moment. We can take some deep breaths, we can shift how we feel. But when things are tough for us for a while, we need a different kind of skill and we need some different strategies. And one of those strategies is to find the things that we really care about, that really draw our interest, and throw our interest into that. Because when we're hurting, when we're constantly going over and over that thing that's a problem, we need a break. And we want to take a break that, moves things forward, that really, is going to add up to something, that's going to make something. So we're interested in how can our kids find those things that really draw them in, that really give them that sense of, oh, I am so interested in this that I can leave my little problem behind for a while and just go deep into this. It'll be there when I come back. I know that, but I get a break. So seems to me that all that's in that word environmental and all that's in STEM, are places that kids can become interested, places that they can go. So maybe you could start with environmental, start with STEM and what you have to offer.
Well, I would say, I mean, as environmental and STEM education director at the Y, my number one priority is connecting children to nature. Um, And I do that through many things, whether it's summer camp or school field trips where we work with local schools, schools out day camps during the school year, programs that happen after school. We find every way we can to offer something that fits in most any family's schedule. And the beautiful thing about the YMCA, and one of the reasons that I work there, is because it is accessible to everyone. No one is turned away based on their ability to pay. And that's where I want to be delivering
Mm,
environmental and
yeah.
STEM education. So that's really my number one goal. Of course, there's a million things that go into that goal to
Yeah.
achieve all of these things that we do. But that moment when you see a child, enter the stream for the first time and find their first crayfish, or turn over their first rock and see a salamander, that spark is created, and that spark
Mm,
goes with them everywhere. When I
yeah.
was a child, going out in nature was that is what made me resilient. That was there for me. It was a common thing. It was reliable. And these kids, I just want to give them at least that opportunity for that spark.
Yeah. So you have it kind of organized uh, in the way that you're working. So we're offering these kinds of connections and offering to work with these kinds of skills across the span of a child's childhood, right? So we're starting out really small and we're going up through teens. So maybe we could look at some of that. What do you do with the little ones?
Okay, so we do have a preschool here on site. So we work a lot with them for classes, and really at that age, and for camp as well in the summer. At that age, it's free play in the right spots, right? So it's free play at our outdoor classroom in the Cassatt Preserve. It's free play and observation in our meadows. It's free play by the creek, and letting their interests guide our lessons. We have in the back of our mind what it is we want them to see, what we want them to notice. Um, but they are the ones leading the lesson. And that's how they stay interested, really,
Hmm.
right? And so,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's been really great for us. And so whether we're outside, most of the year we will be outside. Sometimes we're taking it indoors for STEM, and we're doing things like robotics, or science experiments. But the outdoor part of it is the biggest piece of it for us, and we use a lot of what we find in nature. We call it nature STEM, right, where we kind of draw those conclusions. And so for the young ones, it's led by them, and that's the
Hmm.
best lessons for them when
Yeah.
they're the ones driving the truck.
No, well, this is really it. It's like the kids have to find their passion. They have to find their connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then as they get older, things do get, they find their interests to be a little more specific. So, example for summer camp, we have camps that are just very general nature camps. Then we have specific robotics camps. On our site here at the Upper Main Line branch, we are the home to over 30 ambassador animals. So we have a barnyard and a nature center, and so that speaks to a large part of our community that we serve, our camp students, our school groups, the children that come to our Friday night gatherings. We do this really fun Friday night event. So for a lot of them, the animals are that piece, right? And that's what draws them
yeah.
into the natural world. So yeah, I mean, we follow them on their journey as they age. And, a lot of these kids, I've started with them now. I've been in my role for 6 years. So I've started with them when they were in preschool, and now they're approaching, middle school and end of elementary school, and they are still loving it. But what they love about it changes a little bit each year, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe they really love bugs. Oh my gosh, Miss Michelle, you taught me when I was 4 that bugs are amazing. We need them so much. And now, like, this is my thing. I'm studying insects. I have all these books. And to see that progression, what started as just that little spark is really cool.
That's exactly it. I have a question to,
Oh,
because of who I am. And like you said, you had 30 different ambassador animals. I'm interested in what some of those ambassadors might be.
yes, we have an amazing uh group. We call them ambassadors because they do education work for us. So we have a barnyard where we have four goats, four sheep, and a flock of chickens. Amazing because we found, kids now they maybe don't get to see that connection with an egg from a chicken to their plate, getting to see sheep and feel their wool once it's
Yeah.
shorn. So that is huge, and we do camps just based around the farm, and then we have a beautiful nature center. Where we have a nice collection of reptiles. A lot of the turtles that we have were um, rehabbed and not releasable. And so, when
Hmm.
these animals, they need a place to go. And so they come to us and we
Okay.
use them for education. We work with the animals in a very special way. We call it choice-based training, and it's where the animal chooses what they're going to do. And so it's important for their relationship, right? Because
Yeah.
their home is now with us. And so I always tell the kids, because sometimes, it's a learning curve with children, like, why won't that animal, do this right now? And I'm like, well, because, it's just like us. The animal doesn't really feel like it, and so just like you might not feel like, taking a bath before you go to bed, or, whatever it might be, the animal's the same. It's that free will idea. And so in our nature center, we have a snapping turtle, like I said, some eastern box turtles, a couple mammals, rabbit, a chinchilla, uh, a nice bug collection because we do love insects. So yes, we've got a
Hmm.
lot of those, and a leopard gecko. It's a great one. Lots of specimens too. Lots of bones and tracks
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
insects and skulls and shells and things that kids really can touch. And they do love that. So it's a great it's a great opportunity for learning. The animals are our best educators, I always say.
Yeah. So we're sort of tracking along with the kids. So we did the little ones, we did the sort of moving into middle school. What about for middle school up?
Yeah, so for middle school and up, we have an amazing program called Y Earth Service Corps. And so these are for our oldest students, and they meet once a week, and they do service projects in the area. We've worked with Natural Lands and different other nonprofits to do work outside, clearing trails and clearing invasives. They help us at all of our festivals. So we do a Halloween festival, a Christmas festival. We have an Earth Day festival coming up. And so this group of students will volunteer for those events as well. And they work, they not only do they find their community um, together, right? But they also put together projects and things they could do at their schools, in their home to help the planet.
So now you mentioned this festival, Earth Day, for Earth Day that you have coming up. I mean, it is literally this Saturday coming up. So I'm wondering, is there a sense that this is a something that people could attend and really get an overview of what's available and what you can do and what, sort of what might I see if I go, which I am going actually, but
Oh, you are? That's so
I'll be there. Yes, indeed. Yes,
exciting.
yes.
Yay. Yeah, it is a great opportunity to come and really see the campus. We're located on 54 acres. And like I said, we have the Casat Preserve, we have the Darby Creek headwaters on our property. The Darby Creek flows all the way to John Hines to the airport. So this is a really important body of water. We use it a lot for
Yeah.
education. We'll have canoeing at our pond. And then we've got this amazing, artisan village where we'll have vendors. And then at our artisan village, we have 5 different cottages. So we have a watershed lab where we do watershed work, right? Water testing. The kids can do erosion tables, lots of cool work there. We've got a STEM cottage where we'll have some makers space activities going on. We have a wood shop where festival goers can build bat or bird boxes, which will be really cool. We
Yeah.
have, yes, yes. And so the cottages will be filled with activities. We'll have vendors. Our nature center will be open for tours. The barnyard will be open. We'll have canoeing. We'll have archery classes, demoing so people can see. It really will be a great opportunity to not only see the space, but to see all the different activities that we are bringing to the community year long.
Yeah. So this is something you do jointly with Senator Comita, if I'm correct with that?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is our third year. The first year we did it was actually our 25th anniversary. So we've been doing environmental education here at the Y since 1998.
Ah,
Which
okay.
is
Yeah.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our third year with the senator, and we are so excited. It's really been fun, and it's grown each year. I always think like this year is going to be the best. It'll be just the best.
I
Yeah,
expect that it will, especially if we explore it as a present moment, right? If we can go and just be open to what we might see. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
great encounter. So do you have anything that's a particular favorite of yours? What do you have in the outdoors a particular passion?
I do. For me, it all started with birds. Birds are my favorite. Birds were my favorite as a kid. They were, like I said, they were really there for me, right?
Yeah,
One of the things I still love about birds, and I work with some clients in wellness, and I encourage them to look around, right? Because the birds are always there and they're always doing their thing. And so no matter how bad my day is or how irritated I am at something that's really just a passing moment, right? We all know this, but I look up and there's the crow on the street lamp and he's just yelling and it brings me peace because this is it's reliable. It's always there and it's really peaceful for me. But I started, I guess it was about 10 years ago, working with raptors, birds of prey who were
wow.
permanently disabled in some way. And that's really how I ended up in the position that I'm in now. Just because I was so just enamored by them and started working with them for education. And so we do have raptors here on our property that also have been permanently disabled, usually through some human interaction. Lots of car strikes is the biggest thing
Yeah,
that we see. And so to be able to give these birds who've really had, kind of a bad start and really haven't been given a fair shake, the best possible life that we can, um, is really a passion for me. So that is kind of how it all
yeah.
started. Yeah.
Well, this is it. A passion turns into a career, too. So,
It does.
so
It
when
does.
we're trying to help kids find their passion, we may be setting them up for life. And
Th-
it's really yeah,
that's what I say to them. What could be an interest right now could be something that you're doing all the time. You can do what you love, and you should try
yeah,
for that as much as you can, right?
yeah.
Because when you love what you do, you never work a day, right? I mean, I don't know if
Uh,
that's quite true, but
well,
it's a
I haven't experienced life quite like that,
I haven't either.
but
It's,
there are definitely high points, and it definitely helps if you are going in every day knowing that what you do is something that you care about and that matters. matters in the world, and the environment, and the our ways of working through our world. I mean, the STEM is so huge. I mean, you're talking about robotics as being one of the things that you sort of demonstrate and work with, and maybe even have a camp on. Sounds like.
Yes, we do
Yes,
have a
so a camp.
robotics
I
camp.
mean, these ways of working and what they can do and what they can bring to people, and how they can help. I mean, I think it's just really important. I have to say that as far as, that how did you get connected to the outdoors? I would second that bird thing, and learning life skills, pushes birding as much as we can. So I want to say at our table in the artisan village there, you will have a chance to enter a free raffle for one of two pairs of really nice binoculars and bird books. And look at that. I don't know how that happened, but I got excited somehow. And off we go with the balloons lifting off in my screen. So, um, wow. Uh, I kind of lost my train of thought here. So, birding is huge, and I want to put out a cheer for fishing as being another connector, because that saved my life as a kid. To just say, all right, I'm going off fishing. I'll see you when I get home. Was just so wonderful, and I did fish in Darby Creek a little bit, but I'm a Crum Creek boy myself, and so Chester County is just such an amazing richness in the kinds of natural settings that we can see. And I think you're going to have representatives from a lot of the open land and preserved land, and there's so much that you can see, and so many different, well, birds, fish, all that kind of stuff that you can run into. That's quite wonderful. So,
Yeah, we will have actually, we'll have a really cool dry casting fishing training demo with our good
oh,
friend, yeah, Todd Pride. He
oh,
actually,
Todd, I love
yeah,
Todd. He's great.
he's great. So he does this Mid-Atlantic Youth Anglers and Outdoor
Yes.
Partners program.
We've had
He
him on the show. So
he's fantastic. So he will
yeah.
be at Earth Day,
Awesome.
talking about,
Well, I'm
yes,
looking
his
forward to that.
program. I'm hopeful he and I are going to collaborate and be able to do some fishing trips for our members, our community, because all you need is somebody to just take you out a couple times, right?
That's it. Oh, and you get hooked, as
And
they
the
say.
right, and the birding and the fishing, they kind of
Yeah.
go hand in hand.
Oh, if you are not a birder, by the time you've been out fishing 3 or 4 times, you're a birder too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And it's what you said in the beginning of the podcast. When you're doing those things, you are in the moment. And I think for me, that's what makes birding so special and so cathartic, right? Is that when I'm doing it, I'm in that moment. I'm not thinking about anything else.
It takes you out of your little suffering self, and and gives you a lot that you can dissolve into, right? And you can
Yes.
just be there, be with the birds, be with the water, be with the fish.
Yes, and they're always doing their thing. It doesn't matter if it's a good day or a bad day, like they are doing it. And that to
Yeah,
me is inspiring, right?
it
That's
really is.
very
Really,
inspiring.
it's great to be a human being and be where we belong in nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it was wonderful talking with you, Michelle, and I can't recommend the Earth Day program as a taster for everything that goes on at the Y enough to
Yes.
people. So,
It's going to be amazing.
oh,
And
now,
can I do one more
Oh,
little
please
shameless
go
plug.
ahead. Yes.
One of the things I am most excited about this year, and this is the first year that we've done it, is we will have the Lenape drum circle in attendance.
Mm.
And I saw them back in
Oh,
the fall. They're called the Itchy Dog Singers. They're with the Lenape Nation of Pennsylvania. You don't want to miss it. I
no,
mean,
no,
it's
you don't. I
really,
will say that. Yeah.
it's so moving. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So, had
Another whole dimension of things to explore to help you be more resilient. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great talking with you. I look forward to
Pleasure.
seeing you on Saturday.
Absolutely.